Is a vegan diet more expensive than a regular diet? Perhaps a meat diet or a lacto-ovo vegetarian diet? I have never had a chance to compare how much I spend with that of a meat eater or even a vegetarian. And there is also the possibility of eating a very unhealthy vegan diet. We're going to take a look at the prices, and I'll let you be the judge. First of all, what I can tell you is how much we spend in our home. Our total grocery bill, including snacks and drinks, dining out, and all food items, average between $50 and $100 per week, depending on what I buy. And that would include the date sugar and food co-op orders. So per person, that comes out to be about $25 to $50 per week per person. Now, if I were to indulge in the purchase of some of the higher priced fruits and vegetables, it could be as high as perhaps $120 per week, which would be about $60 per person per week. Making the transition will temporarily cost a little bit more because you are replacing harmful foods with the better, healthier foods. Also, there is the expense of buying the tools necessary for cooking healthfully. Those would include things like the Vitamix, a food processor, like the Mini Prep, especially that I use quite a bit, and possibly a grain mill. Now, the cost of those, it depends on the model you buy and where you buy it and things like that. The Vitamix will probably cost you about $450, depending on the model. A food processor like the Mini Prep especially is useful. The Mini Prep might cost you between $40 or $50, maybe less. And a grain mill like the one I have would be about $150. And if you buy one of the more expensive ones, you could probably pay $200, $250, something like that. Another expense to take into consideration would be the need for smaller size clothing, and that's a problem a lot of people would love to have. These you could buy over time as you lose the weight, and would only be an initial expense in the first year if you are consistent. Some of the expenses of an unhealthy diet are the following. Number one, would be lost wages from being sick. Number two would be, if you have health insurance, then you lose the deductible. And if your health insurance does not cover some of the things needed for your recovery, such as adaptive equipment, you may have to pay for those out of your own pocket. Something like bypass surgery can cost $50,000 or more. So we want to add our deductible. And a lot of this is going to depend on your personal situation. You may not have health insurance, which means a lot of these things are going to come right out of your own pocket. Another consideration is loss of independence. If you become diabetic, which is on the increase, it could mean the loss of an extremity or the loss of your eyesight. The ability to travel, if for any reason your kidneys are destroyed and you end up on dialysis, that would seriously take away from your independence. You'd spend probably 3 days a week in dialysis. Number 4 is loss of time. When I say loss of time, I'm talking about spending more time sitting in the doctor's office, waiting for prescriptions to be filled and recovering from the illness itself. It can take up to a year to recover from a stroke, and even then, a person may not fully recover sufficiently to go home. Number 5 is possible abandonment. Now, what I'm talking about here is abandonment where friends and family might be too busy for you. You may end up in a nursing home, or if you're at home but you need attention, they may not have time for you. From what I can see, in the long run, a healthy vegan diet is less expensive in more ways than one. In fact, right here, you can see 5 reasons besides the money spent at the cash register. If you're interested in learning more, please subscribe to my channel.